Welcome to next class in AC circuits. In the last three classes, we have discussed the flow of an AC through a resistor, inductor, and capacitor when they are taken as separate components. Now, in this class, we will discuss an extension of the AC through an inductor, a concept called skin effect, and the power of AC when it passes through L, C, and R circuit individually. So first of all, we will discuss what is skin effect. It is a continuation of the AC passing through an inductor. When a direct current passes through a wire, it is uniformly distributed over the cross section of the wire. So the lines of magnetic flux are circles around the central axis of the wire. If the wire is assumed to be placed perpendicular to the plane of the screen, then these dotted circles represent the magnetic field, and these magnetic fields are in the form of concentric circles around the central axis of the wire. In the case of DC, the current passing through the wire is a constant in time, and so these magnetic fields are also constant, and the magnetic flux passing through any area of the conductor is also a constant. As the flux is constant, there is no induction of EMF when DC passes through a conductor. But what happens when an alternating current is passing through a conductor? If an alternating current is passing through a conductor, it is not uniformly distributed throughout the thickness of the conductor, because as the current passes through the conductor, the magnetic field will be more in the interior part, because the magnetic field B is inversely proportional to the distance of the point from the axis. So near the central region of the conductor, as the distance r is small, there will be large magnetic field. As field is large, the flux per unit area will be large in the inner portion. So this larger flux density induces a larger back EMF, because AC is alternating. The current is changing in magnitude and direction. So this changing current will induce an EMF in the conductor, and this induction of EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. And in the interior of the conductor, there will be more flux than on the outer side, because of the nature of the magnetic field, dependence of the magnetic field on the distance r. So more back EMF will be induced in the central portions. Back EMF is opposing the applied EMF, so AC finds a tougher path through the central region, but it finds an easy path through the outer portions. So AC predominantly flows through the outer portions. It is not uniformly distributed throughout the interior of the conductor. So AC has a tendency to flow in the outer parts or skin of the conductor, and this tendency is called a skin effect. Now, as the frequency of AC increases, frequency means the number of waves in 1 second. If the frequency increases, the rate of change of magnetic flux also increases. This increase in magnetic change in magnetic flux induces more back EMF. So the skin effect will increase along with the frequency. So a high frequency AC will be confined to a small portion on the outer surface, but a low frequency AC has more penetration to the interior of the conductor. So extremely high frequency AC can be passed through only the outer conductor of the outer surface of the conductor. So in order to reduce the resistance of a conductor towards AC, the surface area of the conductor should be very high, and this is done by using stranded wires. Stranded means many small wires which are in stranded position, and these wires are insulated from each other. By using stranded wires in place of a single conductor, we can increase the surface area, but if we are using a single conductor, the surface area will be minimum. And this strandedness or a single conductor has no effect in the case of DC, but in the case of AC, predominantly we will be using stranded wires, and we will not be using a single conductor for conducting the AC. This is to reduce the resistance of that conductor. Not resistance, it is actually called as the inductive reactance, to reduce the inductive reactance of the conductor. Now, the next section is power in AC circuits. So here we will discuss the power consumed by a resistor, inductor and capacitor when they are connected to an AC supply. First, we will discuss the power consumed in a resistor. So we consider a pure resistor, or pure means it is a non-inductive resistor. It has only a resistance and inductance is 0. Suppose a voltage E equal to E0 sin omega t is applied, and we have found that the resulting current I will be equal to I0 sin omega t. So the instantaneous power P will be equal to E into I, that is equal to E0 into I0 into sin square omega t. So this is the instantaneous power, and to find the average power consumed over one cycle, we have to find the average value of this power over a cycle. So the average power P is equal to E0 I0 into average value of sin square omega t. And E0 and I0 are constant, and we know that average value of sin square omega t is half. Therefore, average power PAV is equal to E0 I0 by 2, that is equal to E0 by root 2 into I0 by root 2. The E0 is the peak value of voltage. E0 by root 2 is called the RMS value or effective value of voltage. And I0 by root 2 is similarly called as the RMS current or effective value of current. Therefore, in the case of a pure resistor, the average power consumed is equal to ERMS into IRMS. Thus, a resistor consumes power from an AC source, and we can see that from the diagram of current, voltage and power, we see that for the first half cycle both voltage and current passing through the resistor is positive, and in the next half cycle both voltage and current are negative. They are in phase, but their product E into I, it is always positive in both half cycles. So the average power consumed by a resistor is not equal to 0. It is consuming power both in the positive and negative half cycles, because in both these half cycles the power is positive. It means that the resistor gets heated up because of this power in both positive and negative half cycles. Now, AC through a capacitor. Again, consider the voltage E equal to E0 sin omega t, and the resulting current will be leading the voltage by a phase of pi by 2. We get I0 into sin omega t plus pi by 2. Now sin 90 plus theta is cos theta, so this can be written as I0 cos omega t. So the instantaneous power P will be equal to E into I, that is equal to E0 into I0 into sin omega t into cos omega t. Here also the average power, the more useful quantity is average power. The average power is the average of this over a period t. So PAV is equal to E0 I0 into average value of sin omega t cos omega t. And we can see that average value of sin omega t cos omega t is 0. Average value of sin square theta and average value of cos square theta is half, but average value of sin theta cos theta is 0. So what is the result? A pure capacitor does not consume any power from an AC source, but it can offer a capacitive reactance against the flow of AC. So the capacitor can be used to control the AC current without any energy wastage. This type of current in which the average power consumed is 0, that current is called wattless current or idle current. So the current passing through a capacitor is a wattless current, or the current which is leading the voltage by a phase of pi by 2 is wattless current. And from this picture we can see that the voltage, current and the power in a pure capacitor can be represented by this diagram. The blue line represents the current, red line represents the voltage, and the yellow line represents the power. And we can see that in the first quarter the power is positive, and in the next quarter power is negative. Third quarter again it becomes positive, and fourth quarter it again becomes negative, so that the average power is 0. What is the energy change is, during the first quarter the power is consumed by the capacitor, or the power from the AC source is stored inside the capacitor as the electrostatic energy. And then in the next half cycle that stored energy is discharged, because the capacitor is now being discharged. So the energy is discharged, or it means that the energy is transferred again to the AC source. And in the third quarter the capacitor is being charged again, so the power is again stored inside the capacitor. And in the fourth quarter that stored energy is again reversed into the AC source. So in the case of a pure capacitor, the capacitor is alternately being charged and discharged. During charging, energy is consumed by the capacitor, but during discharging, that energy is released or given back to the source, so that the average power consumed is 0. Now in the case of an inductor, again we assume the voltage as E equal to E0 sin omega t, and the resulting current I equal to I0 sin omega t minus pi by 2 will be lagging by an angle of pi by 2. So sin 90 minus theta is cos theta, so sin theta minus 90 is minus cos theta, so this can be written as minus I0 cos omega t. And the instantaneous power is P into I, that is equal to minus E0 into I0 sin omega t into cos omega t. Here also we will find the average power. The average power will be equal to minus E0 I0 into average value of cos omega t sin omega t, which will be equal to 0. Here also we see that a pure inductor does not consume any power from an AC source. So this current is also called as wattless current or idle current. And pure inductor means it has no resistance. A resistanceless coil, we can say it is a pure inductor. And from this diagram we see that the voltage which is represented by the red line, the current which is represented by the blue line, and the power which is represented by the yellow line. And we see that in the first quarter power is negative, next quarter power is positive, third quarter power is negative, and in the fourth quarter power is again positive. So when power is positive, it means that the power is consumed by the inductor. Now in the case of an inductor, when current through the inductor increases, the magnetic field around that inductor also increases. So the energy is stored inside the magnetic field in the form of half Li square. So during the growth of current in the inductor, the energy is stored, it is received from the AC source. But during the decay of current, for example, we can see that in the dotted line, this line corresponds from the angle pi by 2 to pi, the current increases, so that the inductor receives the power from the AC source, the power is positive. But from angle pi to pi by 2, the current decreases. So the current decreases means the inductor releases, or it feeds back the energy to the AC source. So the magnetic field in that inductor collapses, and at this point the magnetic field becomes 0. Again the magnetic field increases as the current increases towards the negative side. Whether the current increases to negative or positive is not matter, because the energy stored in the magnetic field is half Li square, where L is the inductance and I is the current, similar to half Cv square in electrostatics. So in the case of pure inductor also, The average power consumed in the inductor is 0. So after watching this, please try to answer what is meant by skin effect, what is its relation with frequency. Write down the expression for instantaneous power in AC circuit. What is meant by wattless current? Give an example. The average power consumed by a pure inductor or a pure capacitor from an AC source is 0. Can you explain the transfer of energy between these devices and the AC source? Here the energy is transferred between the electric and magnetic fields of the capacitor or inductor respectively and the AC source. That you can explain, elaborate in your own terms. Okay, thank you for watching this video.